eBay's policy appears to be supporting a scammer when it comes to this fake Michael Jordan red PMG Saga. As I mentioned in the last video, Ben, the buyer of the card, was having a discussion with BGS and eBay yesterday, and he got back to me late last night Australian time to let me know that eBay is basically going to let the seller keep their money but refund Ben on, their own behalf. And it's quite an absurd situation in my opinion, because it essentially opens the floodgates for people to try and scam customers on their platform. And I'll talk through it, in detail. I wanted to quickly get this out there today because it's an important one. It left me a bit gobsmacked, if I'm being perfectly honest. eBay basically say because it passed the authenticity guarantee program, they don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to, taking the money off the seller, which I think is absurd. It makes no sense to me at all, and basically means that you can't rely on a grading company to do the right thing. And where this concerns me is what it means for people that probably buy cards in the $500 to $1,000 range, or even some of the more expensive cards that don't get the eyes that this one card did. So eBay's not going to get the attention of it, meaning the seller gets to keep the money and you've got no leg to stand on. You've basically got eBay saying, well, we're relying on BGS when we're authenticating the card. We're just making sure the slab looks okay. We're making sure it matches, what was on the listing. But BGS obviously make a mistake in this particular instance. So what does eBay's process mean? So because all they're doing is checking that the listing matched the label, they're basically saying the seller, you can keep your money because it passed our check. That's crazy to me. Like I said, what's going to happen with a card that's of lesser value or doesn't get the attention of this one? It means that you as a buyer are going to get it. And if you want to try and complain to eBay, they're going to say, well, it passed the authenticity guarantee program. It's tough luck kind of thing. And then if you try and get the attention of a grader, they're not going to respond to you, right? And the only reason why they did in this particular instance was because of the eyes that Adam Gray was able to generate, and then my videos off the back of his work. It's it's crazy to me the stance they're going to take in this position. You've basically got a seller getting to keep $23,000 USD, about $40,000 Australian, for essentially doing some hanky panky. And some of you guys might say, well, Daniel, you don't have definitive proof that this guy was doing hanky panky, but it's just one of those things where my gut is telling me he did, especially when, like we said in the last video, you go back through his sales history and there's a lot of test and promo and homebrew cards and all that kind of thing getting sold on his platform. It's like, was this thing one of those two? More than likely than not, it is, in my opinion. It's just crazy to me. And, one caveat to give you guys as well, some of you might say, well, okay, what if the seller, did the right thing here and they didn't know and they bought this card and they too got scammed? The story, according to what Ben has told me, the original buyer, is that this person found this card in a lot that they bought a long time ago, is my understanding. So, this guy knowingly submitted this thing to BGS himself. So again, there's obviously a lot of questions and caveats there for somebody that maybe buys a slab and then sells it because they too then had to buy the slab from somebody else. But in this particular instance, the card was graded by this person. It was bought in a lot. They didn't pay big money for it. It then got graded by BGS. They then sent it to consignment at DC Sports. DC Sports canceled the consignment because they said the card did not look, genuine. It looks suspicious. That person then goes ahead and relists it on eBay on their own account. They don't disclose that DC Sports took it down for those reasons. It then gets sold to somebody else, and that person pays, small change compared to what the card's actually worth, right? Technically, it's a $300,000-$400,000 card, but they pay the $23,000 and then see videos on the internet and say, well, crap, I'm out of money now. It's like all those steps, it's just crazy how eBay can simply say, well, it passed our authenticity guarantee, so be it. Like, your authenticity guarantee is not checking anything. It's like a bullshit metric that you have there, and it's sort of opening the floodgates for people to do more stuff like this. It's just crazy. So if you're a scammer out there, if you can fool eBay's authenticity guarantee, you're set, you're gold. You can go rip off as many people as you want. It's just crazy. So anyway, there's a few more things that Ben himself, the buyer, is going to talk to in a video. I think he's going to put it out in the next few hours. I'm trying to line him up for that interview. Like I said, it's either going to be recorded tomorrow, which is Friday Australian time, or very early next week, and then I'll release it, at some point next week. I don't think we're going to do a live stream, but if you guys want me to, I can try and see if Ben is willing to do that. It's just a bit hard, given the time zones. You're currently based in China. I'm based in Australia. Most of you guys are based in the US, so it's going to be hard to find the time that works. But I was just left a little bit shocked, and I wanted to share that, like I said, because, eBay basically refunding the seller and letting the buyer get their money back too is crazy. The ideal situation, like Adam Gray talked to and like I did myself, is, eBay, give back the money to the buyer, take it from the seller, and then leave it there. Let the card get destroyed and all that kind of thing. It's just, this is crazy to me. This is honestly insane, and it just, highlights how ridiculous this program is from eBay. I've been really supportive of it in the past because I think it's a really good initiative to protect buyers and give some substance to people selling fake cards or altered cards and all that kind of stuff. But if you're, as a company, I'm going to ramble now and repeat myself, but if you're, as a company, relying on what this grader is doing to perform your authenticity guarantee, and what that grader has done is incorrect, and it's like, can be proven it's incorrect, it's very factually, easily determined to be incorrect, why is your reliance on your own program still okay? Because you're basically relying on something this grader did. What they did was wrong. What they did shouldn't have happened. So you're still standing by your own work. That's not how a policy should work in instances like this. So, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.